here's Brody Brazil.
I try to keep the voicemail line as simple as possible. The number you can't forget, 1-833-4-BRODY. Call anytime. I get tons of voicemails. I love it. I listen to all of them, and I get to play the very best ones back for you here on the channel.
Hi, Brody. My name is John from New York City. My question is, when a player gets traded to another team, how does the process work with, like, the signs and stuff? When they're running bases and stuff, like those signs, like, do they change the signs now that they know that that player knows,
right,
the former team signs, or
right,
do they have, like, specific signs for, like, certain players? I just want to know how that process works. For example, like when Correa got traded from Minnesota to Houston.
Back to Houston.
How does Minnesota go about the signs now? Do they change up the signs, or do they only have a specific, certain signs for Correa, or are the signs like universal, like for all teams? I just want a little clarification on that. Thank you.
John, thank you for calling in from New York City. What a simple question, but what a great thing to bring up, and the detailed answer that hopefully I can give you here. I actually went out and did some research. I leveraged a little friendship I've got with a former Major League Baseball player, somebody I trust, somebody who played the game for a long time, somebody who was a switch hitter, played on a bunch of different teams. Maybe you're trying to process of elimination, figure out who this is. Anyway, I actually did secure some actual input from a former big leaguer here to answer this question. The secrets of signs. Here's what I said. How often do big league teams change their signs? I assumed, from what I always understood, that it was once a series. Like every couple games, it's time to change it. Usually there's an indicator. What does that mean? Well, if I touch my nose, now the next sign you see is the actual sign. So now this is bunt, this is steal, this is hit and run, whatever it is. But if there's not this, the indicator, nothing else after that matters. If I do this without the indicator, sign's not hot. If I grab the ear without the indicator, sign's not hot. Sometimes you can just change the indicator. Sometimes you can change all of your signs entirely, but tweaking it is important because, to your point, if you've got a former player on the other team, they know all your signs. Now, can they do anything about it in a split-second notice? Can you yell out, he's going to bunt, they're going to steal? Or could he tell his new team all his former team signs and everybody knows it? So it's hard, right, to actually take old signs and make them work. But to the point, teams are generally changing their signs once in a while. The former ball player told me that, and I don't know why I'm being anonymous, I just didn't ask for permission to share this secret of Major League Baseball. Signs can be changed on a series-by-series basis, but rarely more than that. So the point is, they don't change them every day. They're not changing them probably every 2 games. They might be changing them every homestand or road trip. That might be a fair assumption. This player also told me that some teams he was on over the years, and he played for a lot of years, didn't change them all year. I mean, imagine that. A big league team who kept this as bunt all season long and never changed it. He also told me that some teams, I think he meant most teams, changed their signs right after the trade deadline, like right now, because you've got a mass amount of players on different teams, and who knows what they know or what they're passing along or what they're sharing. The other time that you would obviously want to instantly change your signs is if you thought they had been stolen. Wait a second, that pickoff move worked exceptionally well, or it's like they knew what was coming. So signs are changed, again, right after the deadline, basically this time of year. At the beginning of August every year, they don't change them around the All-Star break, they don't change them around the midway point, but the one time they almost certainly change their signs is right after the trade deadline. You lose 1 or 2 or 10 players, you're probably going to change your signs, or if stolen. But I also want to point out here, and I know the question was posed this way, these are the signs usually from a third base coach to somebody in the batter's box, right? Because you can't yell, hey, bunt, or hey, hit and run, put it on here, or hey, he's stealing, protect him with a swing. You don't do that, right? So we don't have signs anymore from catchers to pitchers, generally speaking. They're using PitchCom. Things have become a lot more simplified with PitchCom and wristbands. What do I mean by the wristbands? You've seen sometimes in college baseball, a third base coach go like this, 2, 3, 2. And the batter at home plate's got the bat, and they go pull up the wristband. Oh, 2, 3, 2. That's a squeeze play. put it back over. And there could be 5 different number combinations for a squeeze play. So wristbands are one way of doing it. PitchCom, though, is that little remote control that a catcher has maybe on the shin pad or they've got it somewhere on their belt, and they can literally hit a button and it goes fastball. And then you pick the number zone 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, like high and outside. Hypothetically 3. So fastball 3. So it'll say fastball, high, outside. Simple as that. And that's actually what the device sounds like. There's a PitchCom receiver in the pitcher's hat, in the shortstop and second baseman's hat, and also in the center fielder's hat. So the catcher's not doing 2, 2, 3, inside on the inside thigh there. They're not doing that anymore. So really the only signs that have to change or could be stolen anymore are from the third base coach to somebody in the batter's box. I just wanted to explain that part of it because the old signs from catcher to pitcher, they basically don't exist anymore. So hopefully this was quick and easy and simple to understand. Yes, teams do change their signs, but probably not as often as you would think or expect. It's basically once a homestand. It's never more than once a series. Some teams don't change it all year. I guess they just don't care. But most teams do change all of their signs after the deadline for the purpose of simplicity. Let me know what you think about all that in the comments section down below. Also, thumbs up while you're there. And don't forget to hit subscribe to this channel. I would love to see you back here next time.